The following is intended only for mature audiences.
Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
You want to hop in the Wayback Machine? And by way back, I mean like 6 to 8 months ago.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's not that far back. I can't remember.
Did you hear about the Nintendo Land theme park that opened up?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, well, let me tell you about it, because they opened one up in Japan years ago.
That's what I remember. I was going to ask you where this new one was.
So back in December, Super Nintendo World opened at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh, okay. So that's the, California one.
So here's the thing. There was a controversy right when it opened.
What?
I just kind of let it slide for a bit, but I still think that it bears mentioning because the grand scheme of our country and where it's going in terms of adapting to overly offended and hypersensitive pussies.
Oh, okay. What did... Is there a problem with how they depicted Yoshi? I mean, what's going on?
Oh, no. The problem was the Mario Kart ride.
Oh.
Where you get in.
Okay.
You know, I believe it's kind of like on hydraulics and stuff, and there's a screen.
Yeah. Those ones make me sick. They like bounce you all around, and yeah.
Well, here's the problem: is they made the cars for your average human being, not for your average American.
Oh.
So basically, the ride is designed for somebody that has a maximum waist of 38 inches.
Here we go again.
The average male American waist these days is 38 inches.
Oh.
So basically, they made a really cool ride at a really fun theme park, but we're all too fucking fat to go on it. So people were like, I can't believe they didn't make it bigger to accommodate all these people with larger body frames. Now we have to miss out on the experience. And I'm thinking, put down the fucking fork, fatty, and go for a goddamn walk.
How do they ever fly anywhere? You know what I mean? Because you're not getting much more room on a plane than that. I mean...
Oh, no. No, airplane seats have gotten so much smaller over the years as they pack more people into those flying missiles.
Yeah, so how come there isn't this outrage against the airlines?
Well, but there is.
Oh,
because,
sorry.
you know, people like my mom couldn't fly unless they put her down in the fucking cargo hold because her ass would have to be in 2 different fucking seats.
Or you got to pay for first class. I guess there's another option, but it sucks. Yeah.
So there was this outcry by obese people that said that the creators of the ride and the park itself were being insensitive and unaccommodating. And there was talk of people like... You know, individuals that are so fucking fat they're considered handicapped.
Yeah. Okay.
So there were some people kicking around an idea of suing them, class action, due to the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a route that is conceivable. All right. How far did that go?
I haven't heard anything more about it because, honestly, they made the park for the average human being. And Universal Studios Hollywood is not just visited by Americans. So, right. By and large, the rest of the world is pretty fucking svelte compared to us.
Well, and I'm trying to think of like all the other rides you go to at any other theme park, you know, because we've all been to the one down south of the river, right?
Yeah, Valley Fair.
Okay, I didn't know if I should say it or not. Okay, so there's Valley Fair. Right, I've been to Universal Studios Florida and Disney down there. I mean, from all the rides that I remember, I didn't have a ton of room, right? It wasn't made for somebody with, you know, much larger than a 38-inch waist. Like, I don't understand where this is coming from because this isn't new to me, right? That's kind of what fair rides. You go to a county fair, you go to the state fair. A lot of those rides are not made for big people.
No. And
right?
most of the rides at your local county fairs are fucking decades old.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, I can't get into the super high swing or whatever it is. I can't fit into that seat. Do I sue the company or do I sue the fair for being unaccommodating?
I mean, you could try to squeeze into that fucking thing and then end up getting cut out by the fire department later on.
Yeah.
And then everybody's filming it, and then you go viral on the internet for being such a fat fuck who just didn't know how to say no to something.
I picture like Homer Simpson or whatever, and the whole crowd booing as they bounce him off his shit, on the way out.
Oh, yeah. Or the ride tilts off its axis and breaks down in the air because he's so fucking fat that it can't handle the weight.
Yep.
So here's another example of, instead of thinking about living healthier, it's, I'm a fat fuck and I want to do what I want whenever I want. I want to eat whatever I want without any consequences. How fucking dare you not let me do whatever I want, eat whatever I want?
Yeah, and it's not just food. The country as a whole seems to have this idea of, who are you to tell me anything, right? And maybe that's what you're getting at, is this whole larger topic of,
it's a lot of
we
fat
can live
people.
our own reality. We can live our own belief system. We can, how dare you infringe upon me at all and don't accommodate me, right?
And it's just like body positivity these days. We're telling everybody, like, don't worry what anybody says. Wear whatever you want and you look good. And it's like, okay, well, people can tell you look good and you might feel beautiful, but the fact of the matter is, and like Jillian Michaels that used to be on The Biggest Loser.
Oh, yeah.
She gets all kinds of shit for telling people, I'm sick to fucking death of fat motherfuckers that are morbidly obese being told, it's fine, you do you look beautiful. Sure, you're confident, but you're going to fucking die young of a massive heart attack. So why don't you maybe stop telling these people and enabling them, just do whatever you want, wear whatever you want, eat whatever you want. No, fucking lose the goddamn weight, because our bodies are not meant to carry around that much extra jiggle on our frame. That's why fat people are fucking up the cost of healthcare just like smokers do, with their goddamn knees and their bad backs and their fucking cankles and their rascal scooters and their adult type 2 onset diabetes, you fat pieces of shit.
I'm glad you went there, because that was actually the little bit of a rant I wanted to go on when you brought up this topic. Was
Go
because
nuts.
We had, over the last, 80 years, 60 to 80 years, there was a lot of research done. People started figuring stuff out, that smoking was severely hazardous to your health. We had a huge national health crisis about it. People were dying early. It was costing the healthcare system a ton of money. Same when you look at seatbelts. The reason why we put seatbelts in cars wasn't necessarily to save lives. It was because insurance companies wanted to save money in paying out insurance claims from all these people that were dying. There's usually a money factor behind this. So I'm really surprised there isn't more about this drain on the healthcare system. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy to not eat the good stuff nowadays. There are so many things that are available, and there doesn't seem to be life with any consequences on many levels. It's live for today and F tomorrow.
Pretty much.
And
gluttony.
Exactly. I get mine now, get my fame, get my everything. And it's going to be a big problem. And it, like you said, it already is. It already is. And now we're getting to the point where
a fucking amusement ride is being called, look at the quotes, blatantly fat-phobic.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, you fat fucks. I'm so sick of this shit. You already get handicapped parking when you go to the goddamn store. You already have scooters that are more readily available in shopping centers than I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. There's like half a dozen to 10 in a lot of grocery stores.
And if you notice, even though there's not a lot of buffet places to eat these days...
Oh, yeah, those kind of went by the wayside.
Because of the cost and the waste of food. But more importantly, I'd like to point out that if you go to the average restaurant, it seems they have dialed back the number of booths available in favor of chairs at tables that you can pull out, because I'm sure there's a lot of fat fucks that want to sit in the corner in the big booth, but they try to wedge themselves in there and they either can't do it or get stuck, and there's one fold resting on the fucking table, another fold under the table, and underneath that fold is their fucking gunt. And it's like, wait a minute, I thought you ordered French toast. It smells like a fucking Euro skillet over here. Wash your cooch.
Right. I mean, it is interesting because it's not like we as a society really pick up on things in general, or it quickly gets forgotten about. But, there was a movie 16, 17 years ago called Supersize Me, and how the prevalence of just supersizing your meal all the time was so detrimental to your health. And people forget, it's not hard to realize that fast food is terrible for you, but we have a whole subsequent generations younger than us that I don't think got the same level of healthy eating growing up.
No, because instead of having more cooked hot lunch meals at school, they had the Uncrustables option.
Yeah, what is that?
And these kids are going to live forever because they're like preserved, like embalmed with fucking Uncrustables.
I honestly think it's, for many years, I think there's, and I don't know if any studies correlate to this, but there's got to be a connection to the amount of preservatives in our food and the numbers of cancers that we get as a group of people.
Absolutely. But I'd also like to point out that one thing that you will hear Europeans and other individuals that come here from other countries when they vacation is, lots of people hear this term these days, American-sized portions.
Oh, sure.
So when we go to Europe and they're like, what the fuck, I'm still hungry, I just ate a whole meal. That's because they don't shove as much fucking food in their goddamn gullet as we do. Mm-hmm. Where all day long we're fucking snacking. You get up, you eat. You snack on the drive to work. You got your coffee, your energy drinks, your sugary sodas and shit. You might have a snack before lunch, and then you eat lunch, and you're probably going to go out to lunch because why pack one from home? You would have had to get up early and have the initiative to fucking be productive to make a sandwich.
And how boring do sandwiches get after about 2 weeks of them?
Well, I still eat a banana and a peanut butter sandwich every goddamn day. But I'm also not normal.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like, I can eat the same shit. I'll eat the same fucking oatmeal every morning for breakfast and the same fucking lunch during the week.
Yeah.
And then dinner's the audible here. But, again, you eat your fast food lunch, which is now delivered to your office because they have people that make their money walking your food to your fat fucking office so your fat fucking face can be shoved with this fat fucking fattening fucking food. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, you got through it.
And then you snack or have another fucking soda on the way home, stuck in traffic, stressed out, lethargic, go home. I don't want to cook. I'm too fucking lethargic from all the shitty food I've eaten and sitting on my ass all day. I'll just grab something quick in a drive-thru.
Yep. Or order something. Yep.
We just eat so goddamn much, and we expect everything else to keep accommodating these bodies that we have on average. Not myself and not you. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think we buck the trend for guys our age in terms of paunchiness.
Right. Actually, we probably live a normal life for people like in the 1920s or 30s, right? For size, and there wasn't a lot of obesity back then.
No.
It was the Great Depression, though.
No, but I see so many fucking fat dads, like when I go to school open houses or band concerts, and I'm just like, look at all these frumpy ass dad bod beta cuck bitches with their moobs and their fucking, what goddamn month is your baby due, sir? Hadouken!
Yeah, a lot of way too tight t-shirts. Like, you got that 15 years ago when you could actually fit into it, huh, buddy?
Well, I bet you I'm the only dad, most times, anywhere I go that's school-related function, that's not wearing a collared shirt that's tucked into my pants just to keep my fucking gut at bay.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's going to hang over their belt but under their shirt with that whole fucking Philadelphia Collins from Trailer Park Boys mustard tiger look.
Oh, there you go.
I used to say that to the beast a lot. I'd call her Phil Collins. She'd go, shut up. Because, like, she was kind of paunchy after having the kids. And I didn't like her, so I was mean.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh.
I earned a little bit of saltiness from that one, but it was a good fucking reference that she hated that I knew. So if you were at a theme park now that had a ride, mm-hmm. and let's say you brought someone with you, and they couldn't go on the ride because they're fat, do you skip the ride just to kind of be nice and in solidarity? Or do you be like, you know what? This fucking sucks for you, but I'm going on that goddamn ride. We waited for 45 minutes in the hot fucking sun. I'm doing this shit.
I would go on it. Yeah.
Like, let's say it was you and your son.
Yep.
And I hate to say this, but your friend and former roommate.
Oh, sure.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's a very big guy, but he's like a tall guy, too.
Yeah, he's like 6'3", 6'4", and yeah.
He probably weighs a good 280.
Yeah, I have no idea. I really have no idea. But you're right. he does, like, even in my car, which is a mid-sized sedan, like if we go someplace and he gets in on the passenger side, he struggles, but that's because he's so tall. He also has to kind of lean
Hunker
in.
down.
Yeah, so it's not easy to step down into the car. But yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. And so you're right. He would most likely, it would be tough for him to fit on some rides, but he knows it. He's aware of it. And this is the way he's always been. So he's not going to be mad if somebody doesn't make something to accommodate him. He knows that that's
He did
just
it
how
to
it
himself,
is.
or that's just how he's
It's
built.
always been that way, right? And that's the big difference. And I don't know where that age changes, right? What happened? Where did that mindset come in that it was okay to expect the world to accommodate you? And maybe I'm asking that rhetorically because I've seen it over the last 20 years. When I would deliver
It's mid-millennial.
furniture. Yeah, whenever I would deliver furniture, everybody's kids were princes and princesses on the wall. They would have, my God, the amount of toys, like the constant entertainment, the helicopter parents that always have the kid entertained or always interacting with the kid. Let them be by themselves. Let them play by themselves. Let them be engrossed by the TV for a little bit. You're not a bad parent if you do that, right?
I like to point out you said play by themselves, not play with themselves. There is a difference.
Well, depends. If it's like a 3 or 4 year old boy, it's going to be both. But yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, he's going to be fucking wiggling that thing back and forth like it's his
yeah.
own personal worry stone, and if he lets go of it, it's going to fall off.
Well, yeah. One of my not first pictures, but a young picture of me. I must have been 2 or 3 years old. I was on the beach, and I was kind of running towards my mom. She took the picture, and of course, where's my hand?
Down your pants?
Right, attached. No, not down it, but attached to the front, just holding onto it as I'm running.
Perfect.
Yep.
So in terms of like a potential lawsuit here, which they're going to, sue the theme park, maybe even Nintendo, I don't know, but I got to believe that a judge is going to have enough frame of mind to go, you are not entitled to let your own personal size dictate what is set as average. And just because you are the new average for our country does not mean that it's average for the whole world, because there's a lot of third world countries still where the people look like skeletons with fucking skin over them. We're not going to fucking sit here and accommodate you. We're not going to give you money because they made you feel bad. We're not going to cater to your fucking ego. And as much as they want to say, move the goalposts and make things bigger for bigger people, I don't think you fucking need to.
I would argue against there's a safety factor involved too if you make something too big. Like if you're going to make this for the average person and you put, say, a smaller framed tween in there, and that was big enough to fit somebody who's got a 40 to 44 inch waist, you may have a little bit too much room to bounce around in there as the old rides are swinging you around. You know what I mean? There's things that could be potentially dangerous on the other end of the spectrum too.
Well, there's always those people that swear they can go on the ride even though they're too fucking fat and they force the bar down. And sometimes those people get injured because the safety measures, the fail-safes don't work out.
Yeah.
And they're just like, uh-oh, and they get hurt and then they sue the park. It's like, hey, fuckface, you were the one that sucked it in enough and mushed the fat to get the bar over it and then lock it in place. But it didn't lock all the way.
Yeah.
This is on you. They didn't design it for, the Michelin man and his wife to fucking squeeze into this thing to the point where the goddamn wheels on the track are creaking like they haven't been greased in years because they're trying to make up for all the other fat fucks that do the same thing that you're doing right now. And this thing is basically like a death machine.
Yeah, but you know what the Michelin man's going to say there? He's basically going to say, well, the teenager was going around checking it. He didn't check it right, or, if it wasn't latched properly. That's why it's the park's fault, right?
I mean, if your seatbelt's improperly installed and it fails in a crash, sure, you can sue General Motors or whoever the manufacturer was. But if you're such a fat fuck and you only just quickly put it in there and you got part of your shirt caught in it, that's on you. Right. They don't design the buckles to accommodate extra bits of fabric and fucking chicken finger crumbs that you got down in there because you're eating in your car all the fucking time. I'm really just ripping on fat people this time.
Yeah, they really caught your ire with this one, didn't they?
I don't give a shit. Yeah, they fucking piss me off. Yeah, and I don't give a shit about their feelings. I don't. Because it's like, you know what? You can get up and you can exercise a little. You can skip a meal or eat smaller portions, or you can drink a cup of water before every fucking meal so you're more full before you start throwing the fucking Stouffer's family-sized lasagna down your fucking word hole.
I do like what you brought up there when you were talking about American-sized portions, because that's really every time when I'm overeating or I feel like I'm starting to gain weight, and I'm not like one of those people who religiously like check my weight and keep up on it, but it is a health factor. I want to live longer, so I don't want to get too out of shape to where it's going to greatly affect my body, because it's one of those things, once you kind of go fat, it's hard to get back, right? And
as you get older, it's harder to get rid of it.
And it puts more of a strain on your body to carry it at an older age. So I don't even want to kind of go down that slippery slope. But when I do notice it, it is my portions, right? I'm overeating with every meal. I don't need to have such large amounts, because what that does is it trains your stomach to always need that much to be full, right? And the more you are always eating to be full, the more and more you're always going to need. And when I was in high school,
and you'll be overeating too, yeah.
It was don't eat to be full. It was eat till you're comfortable. And if you just have that mindset, it's amazing how much more you won't have to worry about overeating or what you're eating. You can eat just about anything and not gain weight because you're not overeating the amount of it, right? Everything's fine in moderation for the most part. Even pop, in small amounts. Now, there's some people that argue against the sugar and the carbonation and all that kind of stuff, but if you're not overdoing it, in most cases, it's not a problem. It's those people that will suck down a 12-pack over the course of 3-4 days. Those are the people that have problems, right? That much sugar, nobody should be consuming.
No. So you hear what he's saying? He's saying put down the fucking fork, or just eat less or less often in general, and then you can go on the fucking ride.
Yeah, you can enjoy Super Mario Kart
at Super Nintendo Land, or
Yes.
Super Nintendo World.
in Hollywood Universal Studios.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It. That is at What Do We Call It. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
And that's the end.